Everybody, this is DJ the Money Coach. We're doing Pom Pom Lifestyle. It's plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the beaches of the World Club. We are here in beautiful Zanzibar, Tanzania. We travel all around the world just to find her. That's right, baby. Guys, this is a unit that we're about to acquire in May. Check it out. What's happening, everybody? DJ the Money Coach back on the Classy Climb, celebrating our grand opening of our multi-million-dollar tour in Zanzibar on MLK Weekend 2024. So in celebration of that, I'm going to give you 4x4 to Zanzibar. What does that consist of? Number one, a live masterclass to show you how to buy business, buy real estate, leverage the tax laws in Zanzibar as well as in America. Number two, I'm going to give you the live stream when we lay out everything we do on MLK Weekend in Zanzibar. Number three, a live consultation with me to teach you how to do it here in America as well as in Zanzibar. And number four, I'm going to let you bring up to 4 people 50% off on my trips to Zanzibar anytime in 2024 for less than 2 of these. So all you have to do, hit that link exclusively with the Classy Climb. Come join us on the beaches of the World Club 2024 Zanzibar. Me, you, 4x4.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach. The show is brought to you by the DJ the Money Coach team and the 7 Spheres of Money Systems. And before we get into tonight's beach, like, share, and subscribe to DJ the Money Coach right here on YouTube. And help us spread the message, the good word of the Pom Pom Lifestyle Movement. And what is the Pom Pom Lifestyle Movement? That's plenty of money, peace of mind. And we invite you to come join us on the beaches of the World Club. And tonight's beach is Zanzibar Grand Opening, happening MLK Weekend 2024. So only a few months from now. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's going on, DJ?
What's happening, Nick? Everything's good. You know what I say, man. Any day above ground with health, thank God it's Friday. You ought to be excited. And if you don't have health, I wish you a fast recovery. And after that, we wish you financial independence, which requires work. So we actually have 100 days to the grand opening on MLK Weekend 2024. And why is that significant? Because MLK, just like Malcolm X, fought for your freedom. And there's nothing better than being free through equity and ownership. Equity and ownership. So we're going to top off this amazing 3-year, journey to actually open up a beautiful 220-unit luxury residential resort, ladies and gentlemen. So the emphasis on residential. What does that mean? That means people come there and they stay for short-term periods of time, 60, 90, 120 days. So it's not like your typical resort that you go there for maybe a week or two. This is a resort where you come stay and actually live, a quarter of your year. That's the amazing thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the only resort of its kind on the peninsula. Well, actually, it's only 1 or 2 because we're building a second one that'll be finished in 2027. So we're excited about that. So this is an amazing journey that began just about 3 years ago. And we're about to culminate this journey with a grand opening, and nowhere better than Zanzibar, and no better weekend to celebrate it than Martin Luther King's weekend, because Martin Luther King is a universal, iconic legend who helped us, get our rights during the civil, rights, era. So that's one of the most important things. So instead of you just taking that day and doing nothing, you ought to come, pack your bags, and take a bite out of Zanzibar. That's right. Take a bite out of Zanzibar. The B is for buy all the real estate humanly possible in Zanzibar. The I is for invest in the ancillary businesses that support the resort. See, a lot of you are consumers and you don't understand that most of the money made on behalf of resorts are through the ancillary services. That's right. What do I mean? Think about this. Commercial waste management. Somebody's got to pick up the trash. Somebody's got to do pest control. Somebody's got to clean every one of those units as a maid service or housekeeping. We all know that when you pick up that phone, housekeeping, that's big, big business. Then you have concierge. That's for you big ballers, the ones that don't want to do anything, have all the money, and you just have somebody schedule everything that you do from the moment you step out of your house into your private driver or your Uber to the airport. You don't see your bags. You get to the resort, it's all put away in the, dressers hung up. That's called concierge. That's when they provide you with every little bitty nuance and things that you need from an excessive luxury standpoint. That's called concierge. That's a multi-billion-dollar industry at multi-billion-dollar resorts. Then you have excursions. What is that? That means, them little things you want to do for that experience. You want to go windsurfing. You want to go, motorboating. You want to go, snorkeling. You want to go deep sea fishing. You want to go see the whales. Or in our instance, at our resort, you want to go kite surfing, which is the season. So you want all that stuff planned. You want to go on a safari, or you want to go to see the Serengeti, which is right up the road. Those are all excursions. Those are huge tourist experiences that you video, you take pictures, and you reflect on it that, wow, man, this is what life is all about. So that's the concierge business. Then two that you don't even think about, which are only way you can get to the resorts is through travel and transportation. So travel, we don't think about that because we're not the ones that are providing the travel. We're utilizing the travel. That's planes, bus, train to get to your destination. In our situation, it's via plane. So the travel industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Last year alone, ladies and gentlemen, Black professionals spent $109 billion on air travel and resort destinations. And you know what? Unfortunately, we own less than 2% of the assets. I'm going to say that again. Unfortunately, we own less than 2% of assets. And matter of fact, we can go back to the beginning of the antebellum and go back to the Reconstruction and go back to the Emancipation Proclamation. And back then, guess what? Blacks owned only 2% of all the hard assets on the planet. How can that be, Nick, that we fast forward 500 years and we still own 2% or less of everything? That's a rhetorical question. Don't answer that. Okay. So that's the travel part. And then the transportation. When you get to the island, transportation and roads outside of the resorts are very bad. So most people like ourselves have private drivers. So that's a burgeoning industry. And in our ecosystem of the ancillary services, those 5 ancillary businesses, which are not ancillary for them, those are primary businesses, but it's ancillary for the resort. They represent, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hold your breath on this one, $330 million a year in commerce. I'm going to say that again, $330 million a year in commerce, because the number one product on the island of Zanzibar is tourism. And by the time we reach 2027, ladies and gentlemen, that ancillary business and the resort that we're opening up again on MLK 24 will represent $1.3 billion worth of revenue annually. And when we fast forward to 2032, we will be burgeoning upon $200-300 billion And the reason why I say that is because you have to do your homework, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to go out right now and pick up this case study called Africa Rising. And it actually gives you a case study of the massive growth for the next 100, 200 years in Africa, that right now their economy is on the verge of being the most disruptive economy from a middle class standpoint. The average African is only 20 years of age on the whole entire continent, Nick. And up the eastern seaboard, where Tanzania and Zanzibar lies, is 300 million people right now on the upper eastern seaboard of the continent of Africa. And on the peninsula of Zanzibar right now, it's 1.3 million. So if you know how to study businesses like we do, you get out in front and capture all this gold. And that's what we're doing. So that's the I. And then the T is to travel, albeit a bucket list trip, but most importantly, as small business owners, and E, experience it exclusively with DJ the Money Coach. So let's sit back, relax, and take a bite out of Zanzibar. And as always, Nick, I'm always long-winded when I'm excited about something that I know we have equity and ownership in. So that's how I feel today, Nick. Back to you, my brother.
All right. So I think the next thing we got to go to is we have some updates for the folks. You know, you had a lot of things going on recently with DJ the Money Coach. I mean, even just a couple of days ago. You know, so I think we got to update the folks on what what we've been doing, where you've been this week. Yeah, the people want to know.
Well, you know, I feel like that character, Where's Waldo? So now you can say, where's DJ the Money Coach at? And where are we going? So you're right, Nick. We've been on a whirlwind tour promoting, the 5 core principles which we, live by. What we live by, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, Nick, pull it up on the big screen. Cooperative economics. Cooperative economics. Some people would call it collaboration. Some people would call it collective. But in essence, in business, it's called cooperative economics. So for the past 6 weeks, we have been practicing astutely and purposely, Nick, cooperative economics with other Black organizations in the diaspora. So we're going to show you some of the organizations that we work with over the last 6 weeks, as recently as just 2 days ago, and then 7 days before that we continue to practice that. Because without cooperative economics, we're going to continue to own less than 2% of all the assets that we contribute hundreds of billions of dollars to. So number 2, over the last 6 weeks, we have been leveraging our professional network. So we practice cooperative economics, but we leverage our professional networks. And we've done that with a variety of different organizations, Nick. We've done that with the Go Entrepreneur Tour that we did at Rice University on September 23rd, which was the first leg of 3 that will end in a culmination on when? Martin Luther King's birthday in Zanzibar. We also leveraged our network by partnering up with Dame Dash. And we actually did an interview with Dame Dash last week, recapping the Go Entrepreneur Tour. And then in addition to that, we just did an amazing interview on the platform called Black Wall Street. And man, Black Wall Street is phenomenal. Shout out to Frank. Shout out to Martell for, executing a phenomenal interview. If you haven't seen it, go to Black Wall Street, or as a matter of fact, you can at DJ the Money Coach or at Black Wall Street, and you'll see that phenomenal interview held by the amazing Martell, and they got a great organization. After that, we couldn't even take a breath, Nick. Next thing I know, we're hanging out with our man Ezzy, the founder of the Diaspora African Conference that was just held at the IN right in Houston on this past Thursday, and it was jam-packed. So we have been in a whirlwind tour. And you know what? Don't let me forget, shout out to PA Billings at Jams at PA, who's the founder and owner of 3 amazing radio stations. So we actually did an interview twice on his platform. We did an interview on his platform, broadcast out of Michigan, broadcast out of Orlando, Florida. And you know what? Don't even let us forget our other partner, Isaiah, out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We were on her platform as well, and she even came down and participated in the Go Entrepreneur Tour. PA came down and participated in the Go Entrepreneur Tour. So we've been on a world-class wind of leveraging our professional network. And why is that important, Nick? Because in order for us to scale up, we have to have, what do I call? Access to execution. And our professional network allows us to do that. And then the third thing that we have been exemplifying through these practicing of cooperative economics, leveraging the professional networks, is we've taken foundational, solid ecosystems, the 7 spheres of money, which we created in December of 2002, and then we've partnered with other successful ecosystems and came together instead of, combating with one another. We came together to create an interdependent relationship to actually scale up and make it better for everybody, because there's always more room at the top, brother. So we took our ecosystems, brought them together interdependently, and created a massive scale up so everybody in our community can take advantage of it. And what that leads into, most importantly, because we own 100% of everything that we do, ladies and gentlemen, it provides you with equity and ownership. Equity and ownership. Those are the 5 core principles of the 7 spheres of money system that we have been operating, seamlessly, successfully, and with us, for us, by us, since 2002 of December. So that's what you're going to see in today's show. We're going to give you a hodgepodge, a compilation of a different snapshots of everything we do. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, you can't be a spectator in success. You have to be a producer in success. So what does that mean? That means you have to plug in, just like our partners have plugged in, and press yes, first and foremost, to say you like the show. Secondly, share it with somebody. And third, guess what? Subscribe. And you know what all 3 of those are, Nick? Free. Amazingly, they're free. But if you take them and apply them, you will actually make hundreds of thousands of dollars annually if you do the 4x4. So, Nick, let's put up the 4x4, because I think we've gotten away from explaining to them the fundamentals, and they getting lost in the sauce of looking at all the sizzle. But you're not getting the steak if you don't lay the foundation. And what you're seeing here over the last 6 weeks is a culmination of a solid foundation. And that solid foundation begins with what we call the 4x4. Number 1, we call it the 4 dirty little words. The first one is, ladies and gentlemen, discipline. If you don't discipline yourself, somebody else will discipline you, and you will be very unhappy for the rest of your life. So my father told me, he said, you know what? Master the hard things in life, and life is easy, baby. You'll live the pom-pom lifestyle, plenty of money, peace of mind. But master the easy things in life, and life is a living hell the older you get. So number 1, discipline. Number 2, accountability. What does that mean? If Nick tells me, DJ, we're firing up the broadcast at 6:35 Central, 7:35 Eastern time, we have to be accountable to our word. And our accountability, it means plugging into a proven system of success. Our system of success, again, ladies and gentlemen, it's called, give me the big screen, Nick, the 7 spheres of money. The 7 spheres of money. And what that is, ladies and gentlemen, is accounting, insurance, banking, financial planning, real estate, estate planning, and legal. And what that means is this is a system that I created that actually taps you into actual firms that actually work in corporate America doing business with Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 1000, and Fortune 1 companies. Each one of our partnerships have been selected and vetted, as I was sharing at the conference, on how to break down the self-hate between ourselves is going through the proper vetting process. So the 7 spheres of money provides professionals like you how to actually engage with CPAs, financial planners, real estate brokers, mortgage bankers, certified estate planners, legal departments that do business in a 7-figure, 8-figure world, but bring it down to your world to give you the access exclusively to execute. So that's the system that we plug in. If you don't have a financial system, then you should plug into ours. If you have one that's successful and it works, keep on working it, baby. Okay? So with that, then you got to do the most important component. They say, you know what, Nick? God says he can't drive a parked car. God says he can't drive a parked car. So you can have all the faith, but faith without actions means zero. So you got to put your car into drive, and the drive gear has got to be a marathon, Nick. It's 2 to 5 years of practicing the 4 dirty little words. Not 2 to 5 days, not 2 to 5 weeks, not 2 to 5 months. This is a 2 to 5 year system in order to reap the deep fruit that we have. It's like the bamboo tree. 7 years, you water it, you don't see any growth. And that 7th year, boom, it turns into amazing, huge tree that's 100 feet in the top of the sky. So that's the 4 dirty little words. Now you got to back that up with some intangibles. We call these the soft skills, ladies and gentlemen. The 4 Ps, okay? The first one is always on display, and it's always off display, and you can notice it in a blink of an eye. Professionalism. What do we mean by professionalism? Real simple. It means, number one, speak the King's English. I'm not necessarily saying speak English grammatically all the time. I'm saying if you're talking to a software engineer, his or her King's English is software jargon. Everybody understand that? Talk about hubs, switchers, routing, coding, deciphering. That's the King's English in the software world. If we're talking about in my world, which is finances, talk about profit and loss, EBITDA, income statements, balance sheets, assets, liabilities. Do you understand where I'm coming from? If you're talking about in actually high school, which Nick is a high school teacher and an English teacher specifically, now we're going to talk about commas, semicolons. How do I write an essay? Intro, body, close. That's the King English, and make sure it's grammatically correct and your grammar actually conjugates properly. That's the King's English. So that's one leg of professionalism. The second leg is look the part. As you'll see in these conferences, you didn't see DJ the Money Coach with pants hanging off his butt. You'll see me dressed up in business attire because it's a business conference. I came to conduct business, therefore I look like business. The third part is punctuality. Punctuality. What does that mean, Nick? If the broadcast again starts at 7:35 p.m., we should be ready at 7:15 p.m. Punctuality. So that is professionalism. That's the first P of the 4 Ps. The second P is where you have to have focus. It's called persistence. And it's persistently work your plan. Persistently work your plan. What's next? What's next? What's next? Don't let emotions get involved. What's next? If things go great, don't be yelling from the rooftop. What's next? If things don't go the way you want, what's next? And persistently follow your plan. The third one is what separates the amateurs from the professionals. It's perseverance. You have to expect as an entrepreneur or a leader, things are going to go good, things are going to go bad, and every part of your life, you either coming into a storm or coming out of a storm, and you have to know how to engage with it non-emotionally. Don't let somebody trigger you because they can't control you because you can control yourself. And that's where the men separate themselves from the boys and the women separate themselves from the girls. And this is where true entrepreneurs separate themselves for wannabes. See, I've been an entrepreneur successfully for over 20 plus years. I've been in an entrepreneur game for 30 years, but I've mastered perseverance because I expect challenges that which are, opportunities in disguise. And I don't get too over the top, elated when we knock something out the park also. So that's perseverance. And then last but not least, the most important P, just like in the 4 dirty little words, you got to perform, baby. In most cases, this performance is based on a sliver of opportunity. Literally, you can actually have an important person like Danielle Estrada give you 3 minutes of her time to articulate why Zanzibar, why take a bite out of it with DJ the Money Coach is impactful to Microsoft. And if you can't perform, next. Or you get the opportunity to meet Ezzy of the Diaspora African Conference and literally get like 60 seconds when he's already planned this conference 6 months in advance, and he gives us an invitation 5 days before the conference and puts us on the panel. That's performance. If somebody wakes you up, ladies and gentlemen, at 4 o'clock in the morning and you've been dead asleep and they say, give me your elevator pitch, you got to knock it out the park. And most people don't have the ability to do that. So let me give you the rounding definition of a professional, an all-star, and a superstar. I want you to write this down, ladies and gentlemen. A professional already has the talent, the skills, and experience to be in the game. So that means you've got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD. You got all that formal education, so you are qualified. But an all-star is a person that delivers time and again at the highest level of the game to constantly produce the 4 dirty little words and the 4 Ps. So they get elevated in their stature. Got to be somebody like Dame Lillard. He's an all-star, perennial all-star, right? But the superstar is the one everybody comes to see, and every time the game is on the line, the job is on the line, the event is on the line, the sale is on the line, all the pressure, and everybody is lining up to knock them down. That superstar produces time and time again. And you know, the only superstar that we're going to even mention in this lane is Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X. These are superstars. And not without saying, obviously, the Most High. Because these individuals, when the chips and the game was on the line and everybody knew it, and they knew they were getting the ball, they knew they were getting the last round, they knew they were having the last breath, they produced. That is the difference, ladies and gentlemen, between a professional, an all-star, and a superstar. My question to you, which one are you? And if you're not a professional, go get the academic education. If you are a professional, rise up and get better at situations and become an all-star. But there's very few superstars, ladies and gentlemen. Very few superstars. And you know what the reality is? We all can be superstars, Nick, but we don't want to do the 4x4 on a consistent basis, day in, day out, without complaining, unemotionally. What's next? Lay the foundation, do the work, answer the bell, and when they know you are the one that they're trying to stop or they depend on to get the job done, you always deliver. And that's what makes you a superstar. And we unapologetically call our program a superstar program, not because we say so, it's because over 45,000 people, ladies and gentlemen, have sat down with me individually over the last 7 years. And over the last 21 years, we have impacted over 150,000 people on our platform. And from the C-suite working with Chase Bank down to the D-suite working with our local schools and the Title I programs and our STEM programs. Does that make sense, Nick? So if you are engaged and you want to see what that evolution looks like, and even if you're starting out right now with $250,000 in debt, you have a 525 credit score like I had back in the late 90s, and you have your health, I can guarantee you in 2 to 5 years, you can have absolute success. We can teach you how to actually pay off all your debt, not file bankruptcy, elevate your credit score to 800, show you how to acquire business credit up to $100,000 interest-free in this environment, and buy assets that can help create $8,333 a month of passive income for you in 2 to 5 years. And that's what we've been doing in our vocation over the last 6 weeks to tell the story of the amazing Zanzibar resort that we're building, and it will be finally completed on Martin Luther King's birthday, 2024. And we're going to raise our glasses and we're going to salute Zanzibar and you. And we want you to come with us. We still have spots left. And if you haven't had that bucket list trip, and matter of fact, if you were like me just 3 years ago, hadn't stepped foot on the motherland and the continent, come on, baby. Come roll with us. As we always say, let's roll to the hole together and make it happen. And with that said, Nick, again, I get off on a tangent. I get so excited. Hey, let's show them a little bit of what we've been doing over the last 6 weeks, practicing cooperative economics, leveraging a professional network, building ecosystems interdependently, and doing equity and ownership with our brothers and sisters. We'll roll the tape. And we'll be right back after you see all these beautiful Black people enjoying prosperity and the pom-pom lifestyle with DJ the Money Coach.
Right. So there's one of them right there. So DJ, why don't you tell the people what they just saw in that clip?
Oh yeah, so that was us actually this past Thursday at the Diaspora African Conference with the founder and amazing speakers, the founder Ezra, and it was amazing. I mean, we had every African represented in the Houston metropolitan area at the ION, and the ION is actually owned by Rice University, which I just found out about. So we had amazing professors, we had amazing real estate developers, we had amazing software engineers, we had amazing African original cuisine, man, the cuisine, which is off the chain. We had amazing original African fabrics and clothing and jewelry. This is the one time, Nick, and you know me, my mantra is don't come to a business conference selling jewelry, food and stuff. But when it is apropos to the actual message, which this was from Africa, it made sense because you have to share with them the culture, if that makes sense. So I want to also do a shout out to Kavachi, who actually I bought her book. It's called Fufu Food. It actually gives you recipes from Nigeria, Ghana, man, all around the beautiful, Western, continent of Africa. And it was spectacular. So on top of that, we had the people who run travel, business, schools. Man, it was just amazing, brother. I mean, I've never seen a better conference put on in my whole life. It was professional. It was sharp. It was succinct. The acknowledgement of the sponsors from Pinnock. Shout out to Pinnock. They did an amazing job underwriting the event, and they just filled up the room, man, with nothing but sharp people who wanted to work together, friendly, very well, put together. I mean, I can't wait to do the next conference with them. And matter of fact, we're going to be bringing that conference to Zanzibar. And another thing, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about cooperative economics, we're not just opening up a luxury residential resort. We're actually going to do 4 to 6 major conferences every year. The conference, which we already began in the process, is called the Pom Pom Lifestyle. That's where we take you over there, let you experience the continent, and specifically the island of Zanzibar, to get your feet wet. The second conference that we already done is the FinTech Conference. That's the master of the world right now. Anybody doing anything in technology is attached to finances, and they're dominating the world. That's basically Silicon Valley. So in Zanzibar, our conference is the #1 conference in all of Tanzania. So that's the second conference, Nick. Then third, we have to tap into the health and the wealth. So we're going to have a health and wealth annual conference with doctors, holistic people, medicinal people, that every year you'll be able to take the herbs and the spices from Africa, specifically from Spice Island in Zanzibar, to actually show you how to get away from the pharmaceutical, demons on this planet. Okay, so that's the health and wealth. Now my passion, financial education. So we're actually going to have a financial education conference for children, as well as individuals, as well as small businesses, to actually show you how to actually build businesses in Zanzibar and in Tanzania, where you can actually become a resident and you can actually have corporate residency as well. And then last but not least, we haven't forgot you. We're going to bring the soul, which is the music and the culture. But we're only talking about positive stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to be out here, doing, demonic things. We're talking about great African beats, great soul, neo, and house music at an adult level where everybody can participate at a G audience, recommendation. So these are some of the things that we're putting in place. And if you're watching this and you represent one of those organizations that practices the 4 dirty little words, practices the 4 P's, and you share the same ethics, morals, and principles, then get with us, because we're still looking for a couple of partners to help pull off the events that'll be annual events at our amazing resort. So that's what you have seen. Okay. So the next thing that you're going to see that Nick is going to show you is actually going to be another little snippet of the amazing event we pulled off at Rice University. And this is a major accomplishment, ladies and gentlemen, because everything that we did at Rice University is now an oral history in the annals at the Rice University Business School. And we had multiple people who graduated from Rice University's B School, which they have the #1 entrepreneurship program in the country, said ours was better. And I know it's better because guess what? We're successful entrepreneurs, been doing this for 2 to 3 decades. And most people that teach in business schools, no disrespect, they are pontificating and they never built. So we brought them the real stuff with Dame Dash. We brought them the real stuff with Jacqueline Beauchamp, who's the only Microsoft certified video game developer and certified AI and virtual reality person that Microsoft has just signed a $200 million plus contract with the government that they have to give 20% of that business to Black certified developers and AI programmers. Guess what? Jacqueline Beauchamp is one of them. She's currently hiring 55 new engineers to put this program in action. And she's also curating and actually developing artificial intelligence and virtual reality for 3 major museums across the country over the next 12 to 36 months. So we brought them to the table. Then my favorite out of all, which they all great, we're bringing this disruptive technology that's creating its own industry, just like YouTube created its own industry, just like Google created its own industry. Are you following me, ladies? Just like Netflix created its own industry. So we have a Black-owned disruptive technology that beat Google twice in the patent office, beat Microsoft twice in the patent office, and beat Sony Entertainment in the patents office to provide what's called Grab TV. And all I can tell you about Grab TV, ladies and gentlemen, is that it turns your television into a point of sale with a click or a voice to buy anything you see on a live broadcast. It's going to become a $1 trillion industry, and it's created by Black men. And here's the great thing about it, Nick. They're never going to give up equity and ownership, and they're never not going to be known about like those 3 pioneers that we always talk about. Look up Emmett, McHenry, created the .com. You couldn't even see us right now without McHenry. Our brother Sampson, Kevin Sampson, he actually created the transmission signal to transmit the cell phone signal for cellular phones at Motorola. And then last but not least, what is her name? Maria Van Britten. She created the home surveillance system, but you know nothing about them. And they created multi-trillion-dollar industries that you know nothing about. But you know who, Elon Musk is, who did not create an electrical car, for your information. He actually forced the owner of Tesla out and took over his company. Go do the research. You know about Zuckerberg, who actually stole the Harvard student directory. Go check it out. These are facts. He did not create it. Does that make sense? And one little tidbit. You think Edison created electricity, the light bulb? He did not. It was actually created by a gentleman named, I think his name is Latimer. Do the check facts on this. But now, when you start seeing anything on my screen, like this is live, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to buy the ABCs of Wealth book right now, you literally can just click and buy it without an app. Real talk, baby. Imagine what that would do for your revenues instead of you having to qualify for amount of hours on YouTube or amount of shows you got to do on YouTube. As Dame Dash so eloquently and succinctly said, do you even know how they get paid for advertisement? YouTube made $6 billion last quarter. You know what they paid out to influencers and affiliate programs? $100 million. Tell me, what broadcast does YouTube create? What content does YouTube create? They have the broadcast, but they create zero content, but they pay you $1 out of every 600 that they make, and they never tell you the formula because they don't have to. We're not even monetizing. We don't even care, but we make more money than 98% of people on these platforms you see that got 100,000, 400, 500,000 people as subscribers. And I can show you the facts, baby. Because like them, YouTube, we're a business, and we're in business to do business. Does that make sense? So I don't need to have 10,000 subscribers and 5,000 hours for YouTube to give me some little pennies. We make money right now, baby. That's why you see us only promote our product, our services, and our partners only. Dollar for dollar, pound for pound. We are the best in business, baby. So you're going to see that as well. So Nick, you got the next one queued up because, you know, I could talk forever. And a lot of times that's not what they need to see, because here's the thing. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. A video is worth billions. Just ask YouTube.
Many of you like to get financial education from somebody who makes less money than you make, have less assets than you have, and never have created anything of success.
We have us a Go Entrepreneur Experience Tour, and my first guest for my panel is going to be DJ the Money Coach.
We're creating history. How many of you like to get financial education from somebody who makes less money than you make, have less assets than you have, and never have created anything of success better than you have? Not created, like my man Dame Dash. It's called the 7 Spheres of Money. And I bridge the gap so that you can get the same service that Goldman Sachs will give to an accredited investor. How many? And I'm going to ask you for 3 things. Don't come to the party unprepared. Number 1, tell me what your skill is, and tell me what your passion is. Did y'all hear me? Tell me what your skill is, and tell me what your passion is. Number 2, tell me what niche you can create in a market like Bowers did. He took the kolache and took it to Colorado Springs. Make sure you understand and listen to what I'm telling you. Tell me your skill. Tell me your passion. Tell me your niche. And number 3, tell me how you want to get in front of people. And if you can answer those 3 questions, call me. If not, don't waste your time and don't waste our time. And see, I'm going to keep it real with you. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, we're back. You're watching Family Finance Friday. Zanzibar grand opening, 100 days from today on MLK weekend 2024. There's a saying, don't see us there, beat us there. We have, I think, about 10 spots left. You can hit the link. All you have to do is put a $500 deposit and you'll get the bucket list trip of a lifetime. Zanzibar, ladies and gentlemen, is the #1 tourist destination in all of the continent of Africa. Let me explain to you why. And Nick, I know it's kind of off script, but we can do that. If you can find that slide that we have that shows the bullet points of what Zanzibar has become the number one. You know how we got the millennials, it's the Maldives of East Africa. While I'm talking, do that. So I'm going to explain to them why that is. Because let me give you a geographic lesson right now, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you have heard of Mount Kilimanjaro? That's the highest peak in all of Africa. That is a 15-minute flight from Zanzibar. How do I know? Because I landed in Mount Kilimanjaro on my way to Zanzibar, my last trip in July, which I spent over 3 weeks there. That's one of the reasons why. Number two, the Serengeti. That's right. The amazing Serengeti that you saw that movie, The Lion King, which Disney tried to appropriate Hakuna Matata. They literally tried to trademark a Swahili language word. Ain't that something? But that's another story. So the Serengeti, ladies and gentlemen, is only about a 30-minute flight to Zanzibar. So what people do, they come to Zanzibar to actually do what we call an itinerary arc of travel. And they generally plan out 6 to 12 weeks because they have the fluency to do so. So first thing they do, ladies and gentlemen, they go up to Mount Kilimanjaro and they hang out there for 7 to 10 days. Then they slide down to the Serengeti and take on that amazing safari for 7 to 10 days. Now, if they've done all of that great stuff from a historical point, the peak, seeing the beautiful landscape and the wild animals and the terrain, now you know what they want to do? They want to come down to the most beautiful beach and have a nice drink, baby. So they fly right down to Zanzibar and they put their feet in the white sand and the crystal blue emerald green water that goes for miles. And the temperature of the water, every time I've been there, no matter if it was winter, summer, or spring in America, it ain't never been colder than 75 degrees. So that's what makes it the number one destination. There's 3 types of people that currently come to Zanzibar. Millennials, you know who you are. You make everything sexy, baby. You go out there, you got the tight 8-pack, you got the 36, 24, 36, what a woman has, and everybody want to come there. But most of the time, millennials don't have a lot of, dollar bill, y'all. They got credit that they personally use, but they don't have real assets. So they make it sexy. Then the second group of people come there are people like you and me, professional middle class. They've accumulated some assets. They put some stuff together, and now they're looking for that second vacation home, or they're looking to take that whirlwind, lifetime experience trip or destination wedding. And they have the ability to go hang out for 2-3 months without, sweating an eye. And then you can live there comfortably. Then the third group of people is like I am, a developer. And we go out and catch that crowd and build and invest before you even know what it can be. And then when you start seeing it in full, 8D, you now want to participate. That's what it is. Real facts. And since it's a peninsula that is now considered the Maldives of East Africa, it's now going to surpass Mauritius, Madagascar, all of those places, because it's not as developed yet. But 5-10 years from now, you're not even going to be able to afford to be there unless you get in right now. So I would highly recommend, first and foremost, come take the trip with us. Second thing, if you are a small business owner, let me show you how to actually get your business off the ground in Zanzibar. You know how I know? What's the number one question I tell you, ask anybody trying to market something to you, Nick? What is the question they should ask?
Do you have equity and ownership in what you're trying to market to me?
Exactly, Nick. Exactly. And you know what that said? Let's do this. Let's show them the equity and ownership piece. You got that queued up? Can you show that to them? Rock it out and show them, because again, why should you take advice from anybody that don't own nothing? Don't have no assets. And I don't have anything negative about somebody as a consultant. But again, if you've been consulting so long, if you really believe in it, why don't you own it? And here's another nugget for you. If something were to happen to you and you have children, your children own nothing, because consulting agencies aren't assets unless you blow them up so significantly you got B2B long-term contracts. 98% of you ain't in that ballpark. But we have the assets and the equity, so we can actually take you crawl, walk, run to success of equity and ownership because we already are doing it. So let me know, Nick, when you're ready. Cue that up. Let them see that. And we'll come back after these words.
This plot of land right here, $16,000. And we're going to get it for 12. Build little small houses like this, 100% brick. And these houses are going to be able to rent out for you for $1,250 to $2,000 a month. It's going to be spectacular. And we are about to make history. And we actually about to acquire a plot of land as a group with our advocate. An advocate is an attorney in Zanzibar, but the benefit of our main man, Godfrey, and a whole group. So y'all gonna see each one of us put our John Hancocks on this document, which is 3 pages. And by the time December gets here, you're gonna see a brand new 4 townhouse development built from this signature right here in this acquisition. So you gotta get busy and you gotta come to us. This is how legends began. Today is a historical event for both us and him for all of our benefit. This ain't our first rodeo, and we're going to crawl, walk, run to success. And we're going to impact people generation to generation because it's all about equity and ownership and partnership. Would you agree? Sure. Absolutely. So we'll see y'all next time. Hopefully you'll be part of the group. Peace out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And for all of you who are watching this, even in the replay, we actually purchased several acres of land on July 24th of this year. And that land right now, as we speak, as you see, is actually being excavated. And we'll have 4 deluxe townhouses with 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, in the ground pool, drive port, gated, with super technology provided by the creators of Grab TV that nobody has on the planet that actually enable you to actually have what's called interoperability, which basically means I am a Android Samsung user. Let's say Nick is an Apple guy. All his stuff is Apple. And in his townhouse that he owns through us, he has everything Apple. But I want to stay in this house, Airbnb, VRBO. I will have a QR code provided for me by our founders of Grab TV that would allow me to operate all of his Apple products on the ISO system. That's right. Not only that, let's say you are all Google user and my unit, because I'm a Samsung guy, is all Samsung TVs, phones, laptops, etc. But because you're a Google person, we'll be able to give you, again, a barcode on your phone, and you'll be able to use all of the Samsung products with your Google products seamlessly without even missing a beat, and you wouldn't even know it. And you'll better control it, ladies and gentlemen, from the comfort of your own home here in America. You better change the temperature, the thermostat, turn the lights out, drop the shades, all of that from a touch of your phone through a barcode. And it's phenomenal. The only one of its kind, ladies and gentlemen. So you can have Echo talk to Sirius, talk to Google. And I am not kidding you. If you don't believe it, we have a presentation that you can come to. And all you got to do is hit the link and you can see it for yourself. That's amazing. So let me go back and share some shouts out to some of the people that I had the benefit of getting to know. If you can give me full screen. So this is from the Diaspora African Conference. And this author created amazing Western African culture flavors traditional cookbook called The Art of Fufu. And it has all these amazing recipes and everything. But this is the amazing author right here. Kabachi, you want to look her up, and all you have to do is go to the artoffufu.com, and you can get all the amazing. This, look how great quality in this book. Nothing but first class. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I could have gotten the book for free, but you know what? I don't do free. I paid the amazing $25 to patronize and practice what? Cooperative economics. And you know what's so great about this, Nick? I paid for the book, and she turned right around, and unbeknownst to me, she gave me a 20% discount on a bigger event that I was looking to go to. I didn't even know she had anything to do with. You see how God's good to you? I didn't say, oh, sister, let me get the hookup. No, she said the book was $25. I said, let me go ahead and buy one. That's a tip, okay? So, notwithstanding, I told you about the event we were at. Here it is. Give me the big screen again, Nick. And they can take a screenshot for this, and you can actually register for all their future things. Again, it's the Diaspora African Conference, and provided by PENEC, which is a Nigerian company. That's a super huge multi-million-dollar company that actually wrote this event. And you can just go to the QR code, click on it, and get more information about the next upcoming events. All right? Cool. And then last one is what you saw at the Go Entrepreneur Tour. This is the only developed Black video game developer, Jacqueline Beauchamp. This video game has been available on the Xbox platform. And know what the great thing about this, Nick? It has all the amazing drum lines at halftime of all the historically Black college and universities. Can you imagine that, man? Popping this in and just listen to the drum lines, and woo. So that's what we've been doing, Nick, over the last 6 weeks. But now it's time to get on that freedom train and join us where? In Zanzibar, baby. Join us in Zanzibar. So, Nick, take us to the Zanzibar spot. Let them see again. We'll come back and wrap this thing up, because guess what? If you want to be free, you got to have first a dream, second a plan, and third, you got to put that work in, baby. You got to put that work in. So cue it up, Nick. You've been doing an amazing job. It's seamless. Hey, everybody, give Nick a round of applause. And matter of fact, why don't you guys that's on here watching the show live with us, let us know where you're from. If you got a couple of quick questions, why don't you come up with some questions when we come back, and we'll entertain those questions. Anything pertaining to Zanzibar, financial education, and the pom-pom lifestyle, which is plenty of money, peace of mind. And we always want you to come join us on the Beaches of the World Club in Zanzibar. So, Nick, I think you're ready. Cue it up. Let's do it seamlessly like you always have been, and we'll be right back. And remember, we only advertise for us, with us, by us, because it's the only way you can have 100% equity and ownership. We'll be right back.
This is DJ the Money Coach with Financially Free D. We're here in the amazing Zanzibar at what beach?
The Windy Beach.
That's right, and we're living the pom-pom lifestyle. That plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the Beaches of the World Club, Zanzibar style.
Zanzibar, baby.
Everybody, this is DJ the Money Coach. We're doing the pom-pom lifestyle. It's plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. We are here in beautiful
Zanzibar, Tanzania. We travel all around the world just to find her. That's right, baby. Guys, this is a unit that we're about to acquire in May. Check it out.
Some of the best things that I like about Zanzibar was being on the land, seeing the emerald water.
Got to see the island, connect with the people, do exclusive luxury experiences that you'll only get on the island of Zanzibar.
I think my favorite had to be the boat ride to the sandbank.
The island, the beach, fresh food, the people. I mean, I could write a short book about what I experienced here.
Eating the best fruit, vegetables, seafood.
Met some amazing people. We had an amazing time.
I like the tours that we went on, the Spice Island, the Paradise Island.
See the snorkeling. That was an exclusive experience. Huge sandbar. That was set up like our private dining area. The sand is soft, the water is warm.
Unadulterated, pure, simple, Zanzibar.
So the opportunity in Zanzibar is very, 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 very clear. There is nothing but economical growth and development happening right now.
Zanzibar, just because it's an up and coming area.
Get here and you see the opportunity.
And then you come on the African side, you get to see even a different type of togetherness.
Being able to ask questions, and DJ was just like, hey, ask me anything.
Plenty of money and peace of mind. Zanzibar all day.
What's happening, everybody? DJ the Money Coach back on the Classy Climb, celebrating our grand opening of our multi-million-dollar resort in Zanzibar on MLK Weekend 2024. So in celebration of that, I'm going to give you 4x4 to Zanzibar. What does that consist of? Number one, a live masterclass to show you how to buy business, buy real estate, leverage the tax laws in Zanzibar as well as in America. Number two, I'm going to give you the live stream when we lay out everything we do on MLK Weekend in Zanzibar. Number three, a live consultation with me to teach you how to do it here in America as well as in Zanzibar. And number four, I'm going to let you bring up to 4 people 50% off on my trips to Zanzibar anytime in 2024 for less than 2 of these. So all you have to do, hit that link exclusively with the Classy Climb. Come join us on the Beaches of the World Club 2024 Zanzibar. Me, you, 4x4.
Debbie, and I'm actually a project manager here in Texas, and we just had a conversation with DJ, the Money Coach. So appreciative of his time. He really went above and beyond during the holiday season to come and talk to me. And I'm really excited because I'm really serious about being a real estate investor, growing my business. I learned about credit and my debt and how to go from working in my business to on my business.
The Money Coach, along with his team, for providing valuable gems to help me get on a successful financial path. And yes, I am ready for that pom lifestyle.
Hello everyone, I am Emilia. I came here to recommend DJ the Money Coach's Back to the Basics bundle. So I think that this bundle / course is a great way to get started in terms of learning how to manage your money and getting into finances.
Had our first session with DJ, the Money Coach. It was a very informative session in which I am glad that we are participating in. It gives us an opportunity to be good stewards of our resources. The